What is up, MFers? I hope you're having the best day of your entire life. Woo, that's bright. Anyways, today's video, another exciting one. So I did the top water only challenge. I don't know if that was last week, a couple weeks ago. It was pretty recent. You guys had really good feedback on that. Went ahead and gave away the bait I actually did the most damage with. It was a Reaction Innovations Vixen, and I found another bait that I gave away too, so that was pretty sweet. But today, in today's video, I am going to be doing a jigs only fishing challenge. So I get a ton of questions on my channel about how to fish jigs, where to fish jigs, what jigs to use in different types of situations, and most importantly, when will I be selling my jigs? Well, actually, exciting news, I will be selling my jigs very, very soon. So more information coming on that. But today, I'm going out to this beautiful little lake right here, and all I can fish is jigs. Flipping jigs, finesse jigs, football jigs, ball head jigs, swim jigs, any type of jigs you can even think of. That's all I can fish today. So despite my my urges to throw topwater all the time or crankbait, stuff like that, I can't do it today. I can only fish with jigs. And just like the topwater fishing challenge, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. The best jig, the most successful producing jig today, God, I hope I catch fish. I'm going to give that away. So stay tuned till later in the video. I'm gonna do a little giveaway to the most successful bait of the day. So I went and picked this little lake. It's about an hour and a half from my house. Got up and drove here this morning. It looks freaking pristine. No one else on the water, so I'm gonna be the only boat here to start off anyway. But I haven't fished this lake in like 4 years, so it's kind of a giant gamble. Why did I pick this lake? Well, from what I remember, it has a bunch of different types of habitats. So I'm gonna be able to show you how I use these different types of jigs based on what type of cover I'm fishing. You know, obviously it's got this man-made riprap, it's got grass, it's got really thick brush to flip, it's got deep rock piles, deep trees to fish. So it really should be a good opportunity for me to show you guys how I fish these different types of jigs. But I am done talking. Like I said, stay tuned. Later in the video, I'm gonna give away whatever is the most successful bait that I use today. Let's go. Hey. All right, time to get this thing started. Notice there is a pretty strong algae bloom. Not sure if you can see that. That is a lot of greenness. Pretty dark outside still, only about 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning. I noticed there is a lot of grass on this whole bank right here. Really would like to pick up a frog, but we're not doing that today. So I'm picking up Mr. Fish Catcher himself, the old 6-cent swim jig. Time to get to work. There we go. First fish of the day. All right. Come here, dude. Boom. Success. Not a giant. Probably about a, what the heck? He was like penned on there. Probably close to 15 inches or so. But I will definitely take it. So what I was doing there, I kind of fished the swim jig down this whole grass bank here, but then I got to this jetty. So I picked up this 6 cents, it's a hybrid jig actually, and I just trimmed this down to a finesse skirt, threw a little menace trailer on there. It's a really nice, compact, small profile. I think it might be a tough bite today because the water is like 55 degrees. And yeah, so far it's been kind of tough. So I trimmed that down to a finesse jig. That's something you can always do when it's a tough bite, just to get some more bites. Sometimes you can just whoop guys that are throwing the full skirt only. But yeah, I'm gonna keep throwing this around these rock jetties, stuff like this, and keep swimming that jig. And then we're gonna kind of get to some more of the wood offshore rock. Hopefully that's where the big girls lay. There we go. Yes, sir. All right. Not a big one, not a big one. We're getting things going though. That one was on the 6 cents Divine swim jig. You guys have seen me throw this swim jig a million freaking times. It flat out catches the fish like this one, and big ones too. Anyway, second fish of the day. Another one that's a couple pounds. I will take it, keep the train rolling. That one came on a little grass edge right there, which is what I've been throwing this swim jig around. Perfect bait for that. He thumped it, obviously choked it. Let's get some more. Ah! there's the swirl. Man, that was all on me. I did not let him take this swim jig long enough. Good to see though that they are really eating the swim jig this morning. There we go. All right, another one on the swimming jig. Again, not a big one, but I don't know, can't get bit on anything else right now. And the swim jig does the trick. There we go. There we go. That's a better one. Nope, maybe not. But another fish on the swim jig. This is definitely getting more bites than any other jig for me so far today. Helps that I've thrown it the most, but definitely getting more bites for me. So I'm gonna keep sticking with this guy. We got a little bit of wind picking up now, which I really, really like. The bite seemed pretty damn finicky this morning. They're kind of eating this thing funny, but yeah, you can't complain with that. Catching fish, covering water, trying to figure something out, and this is the bait to do it with. There we go. Yes. All right, another one on the swim jig. These fish do not discriminate with this thing, man. They'll eat it on the riprap, the grass, trees, whatever. Another one on the riprap. Not a giant, but we'll take him. Well, I've been fishing for about an hour and a half now, and hasn't been a hot bite, but by far the best bite has been the swim jig bite. And I know that's not a surprise to a lot of you that watch my videos a lot. I throw the hell out of a swim jig. I've caught hundreds of bass on this thing this year and over the years, and I've made videos that say the swim jig's awesome. I've told you where to throw it, what I like to throw it, but I haven't really talked to you guys about why I throw this swim jig right here. Like I said, this is the 6th Sense Divine swim jig. Came out a couple years ago. To be honest, there's dozens of swim jigs on the market, and if you put it in front of a fish, you could probably catch a fish on a lot of them. But what I feel like separates this thing apart, I've been thinking about what aspects of this thing is the best, and really there's several things to me that set this apart. You know, first off, maybe the most important thing to me is this head design. So it's got like a really wedge-shaped head that's flat on the bottom. So that does a couple things. First of all, it comes to a point, so that gets it through grass. Grass is my favorite place to throw this. After that, probably wood and riprap. Gets through cover extremely well, but most importantly, the bottom of that being flat helps it skip, but it helps it keel. And there's a lot of swim jigs on the market that roll over, and that looks super unnatural to me in the water, and you flat out don't get as many bites on a swim jig if your jig's going through the water sideways or spinning in circles or moving around. This guy with that flat bottom on there, it's freaking awesome. It planes super, super well. Another thing I like, the hook. This one right here, you've seen me catch fish on it all summer. I haven't put this guy down. I've literally caught probably well over 100 fish on this single jig by itself. The hook point hasn't rolled nothing, and that's something that's a huge, huge deal for me. This is a more stout hook for a swim jig than a lot of companies offer for their swim jigs, but it's still got enough bend and it's a thin enough gauge that you can get the hook in the fish. Even if you're swimming it along and one just barely follows it or is tapping it, you can just reel into them a lot of times and hit them with that, or you can absolutely wind up and smoke them on it. Regardless, I've had this thing snagged. I've caught over 100 fish, like I said. Still got the good hook point on it. Something else that's awesome about this, it's very unique, is it has a screw lock keeper. Screw lock keeper is going to save you so much money in plastics. There's so many times fishing a swim jig, the fish are just gonna be pecking at the back of it, or a bluegill or whatever, gonna be pulling on the back of that trailer. And with that screw lock, it's not going to slide down the shank. You're not gonna be adjusting it every single time you cast it out and pull it in, or pulling it through grass. That's another thing. When you're pulling it through grass, over time, even if you super glue it, it's going to cause your trailer to pull down the hook shank. With the screw lock, you got to completely destroy the plastic to get it off there. It's an awesome feature, and of course, so many different colors. I don't use a whole lot of different colors. I like a bluegill, black and blue, and a sexy shad color in my swim jig. But go on their website. There's dozens of colors you can get this thing in. Super lifelike head design. I know a lot of guys have their preference for what swim jigs they like. This is the swim jig for me, and I'll leave a link down below. Of course, you can use MF10, the promo code, at checkout on 6senselures.com, and that will save you some money on these. And back to what I was saying with my videos and using this thing all the time, If I'm fishing a new body of water, or if I just need to put the trolling motor down and kind of pattern fish, see if they're up shallow, this is the bait I always start with. The swim jig's a bona fide fish catcher, and I'm gonna go back to catching a whole bunch more fish on this guy. There we go. All right. So I wasn't getting bit on the flipping jig, so I matched the conditions, switched up to old Mr. Black and Blue swimming jig. A little bit of a kicking trailer on the back. Here we go. Paid off with a fish right away. Another one swimming the jig. Oh yeah. Get in here, sucker. Another one on the old Black and Blue swimming jig. Man, they are loaded up on these weed edges. I can't seem to get any quality, anything over 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. They're a lot of fun though. Definitely catching a ton of fish. I'm gonna have to go fish some offshore stuff here in a second, see if maybe that's where the big ones are grouped up out on the rock piles and in the thick brush. I flipped a little bit around, but can't seem to get a really quality bite. So I'm gonna keep throwing this swim jig on this grass line. Then there's a couple of rock piles I marked when I idled over here. So we'll go hit those next. There we go. Yep, get in here. I'll take that all day, swimming the Black and Blue jig. That might be one of the biggest ones I've caught today. That one's probably close to, he's not that big, 2.5 maybe. Another one, let's go. Yep. Yep. Another one swimming the jig. Come here, buddy. So many of them today. I'll take it. Right, we got a rock pile right up here, so we're switching up to the football jig. Little Black and Blue football jig. See if that can do the trick. Well, nothing on that one. Let's try flipping some brush. Well, there was my first flipping bite. Results, a hook set and a snag. Atta babe. Hey. Well, only had one flipping bite so far. I don't know if they're not on the wood cover like this, or I'm just not getting them to react to it because of the tough conditions or what, but I'm switching up the jig trailer to a big old stinky beef. See if this guy will do the trick on the back of the jig. Always good to throw something with a little bit less action whenever it's tough conditions. I know I did that post front condition video with Flair a couple months ago, where I talked about stuff like this, where you want to throw something with no action when it's post front or tough bluebird sky conditions like today. So we'll see if this makes a difference over the little kicking type trailer. Sure hope it does, because it's been pretty tough besides that swim jig bite. God, it's twice. That fish carried it away. I bet he won't bite again. He felt me that time. Battery's small. He did bite. And he freaking got me hung up, and I missed him. 3 times in a row. My second flipping bite of the day. There we go. Finally. Finally a flipping bite, and of course it's not any bigger, but I got a flipping bite to the boat. This is the 6 cents hybrid jig. See you, buddy. Okay. Another flipping fish. Are these fish in this lake all the same damn size? What the heck? I mean, I'll take it. Can't complain with fish. But, yep. right, that is it for the day, folks. I don't really know what happened to the quality at this lake. When I was here like 3 years ago, you could at least mix in some 3 to 4 or 5 pounders even. Not so much today, but I can't really complain. Got out, caught a ton of fish. The large majority fell to that swim jig, the 6 Sense Divine swim jig. And I didn't realize it, but I was actually throwing the hybrid jig when I was swimming the black and blue one. I guess I just kind of got mixed up there. I was flipping it around, and then I put that Menace trailer on and they were crushing the black and blue. So both of them, the hybrid jig from 6 Sense and the swim jig, both very, very versatile baits, were the hot baits today. Now, you probably didn't see me doing it a whole lot because there just wasn't any fish, but I fished 4 offshore rock piles in my football jig as well. Nothing. Couldn't buy a bite. So I don't know if they would have been like on a plastic or something there, but it was kind of strange. They were just up shallow in the grass and shallow on the wood. But time to give some of those away. So like I said, 6 Sense hybrid jig, 6 Sense swim jig were the hot baits today. So I'm gonna give a couple colors away of each to one of you guys. You guys know the drill with these giveaways. So what we're gonna do, comment down below. Leave a comment on this video. Go hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to Milliken Fishing. 3 steps: comment, thumbs up, subscribe to Milliken Fishing. So a week from today on this video, I'll put giveaway winner. I'll put your name below if you won. The way I'm gonna pick a winner is with a random comment generator. So be sure to leave a comment down below. The random comment generator is gonna pick one of those guys. I'm gonna click on your profile, make sure you're subscribed to Milliken Fishing, and then I'm gonna send you some badass baits. You know, like I said, I've been catching so many freaking fish on a swim jig. If you like catching fish, you need to be throwing a swim jig. If you don't like catching fish, then you need to unsubscribe and never watch one of my videos again. Anyways, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the video today. I am out of here. Peace.